I got into this industry about 25 years ago. I began my career with FMR which is the research and fund management arm of Fidelity Investments in Boston. I moved down to Boston at a very young age of 23 years old. Got to pitch stocks to Peter Lynch, which was absolutely terrifying. And in March of 2000, they gave me a big promotion, and I inherited the Select Gold Equity Fund from a legend named George DeMolke, who some of you in this room may know. I wasn't all that pleased about it, to be completely honest. Gold was at $240 an ounce, had done nothing but go down for 20 years. And I thought, how am I ever going to get anyone's attention managing this fund, competing against folks that are managing tech funds or telecom funds or media funds at the time? But it was actually quite serendipitous that I got that fund. I turned very bullish on 9/11 because of negative real interest rates. I would say negative real rates still have a very positive impact on the gold price here, but central bank buying has also become a big factor. And I've been very bullish on gold ever since. Fast forward to today, I joined Sun Summit as CEO just over a year ago. And today I'm going to tell you about our very exciting projects that we have in the Toodoggone. And before I get into it, really, there are a couple of main reasons why I was excited to join Sun Summit. Number one is the fact that the assets are in the Toodoggone. This is one of the hottest districts in the country. I'll let you read those forward-looking statements at your own leisure. You can see up towards the top there, that's the Toodoggone area where our JD project, our flagship project, is located. But there's also deep mining experience on our board and our advisory committee, and we have a very strong technical team. My background's all capital markets. I'm not a geologist. I do my best and might know enough to be dangerous, but I'm very happy that we have a very strong technical team. So where do we sit today? We are fully funded to do a 10,000 meter drill program this summer. That is the biggest program that we've ever done. That's more work we'll do this summer than the last 2 years combined. And we're fully funded for that work. We closed an $11.5 million placement in December at 10 cents. I think our stock today is between 16 and 17 cents last time I checked. So we're very pleased about that. We also had a growing, and a majority of the investors in that placement were institutional investors. So the volume on our stock is increasing. We trade over 2.5 million shares a day now, and the institutional ownership of the company is growing, and that's very positive. We did have some fantastic drill results last year. We hit 81 meters at 4.8 grams. That was less than 30 meters downhole. We also hit 78 meters at 3.7 grams per ton, also inside 30 meters downhole, so very near surface. That's what you want to see, continuous mineralization near surface and high grades. And that's what we're hitting at JD. So we're going to go back this year and drill 10,000 meters. Our drilling will probably start in June and go through October, and results will start coming out in the fall. So there's a lot of catalysts here for the stock to move higher. We have a 25,000 hectare position in the Toodoggone and across our two main projects, JD and Theory. So where did we come from and where are we going? The project was optioned by the company, the JD project, right at the beginning of 2024. We had 2 drill seasons. Last season, we did about 6,800 meters. And now we're funded to do 10,000 meters in 2026. And that will lead to, very importantly, a maiden resource estimate roughly this time next year. In the first half of 2027, we'll put that out. We don't know what that number will be yet. But what I can say is our relative valuation to our neighbors, and you'll hear from Thesis Gold next, which is great, is quite low. These numbers are already a little outdated just in a week. I think Thesis is closing in on about $1 billion market cap, and we're at about 50 million. And so you can do the math yourself. Whether we have 1 or 2 or 3 million ounces, who knows what the number is going to be. But if you look at the valuations in the area, there's real 5 to 10x potential here if we can put up numbers like that and continue to make good progress. So there's a good valuation story here with lots of positive catalysts for the stock to go higher. So this is the area we're in. We call it the Golden Horseshoe. You've got the Golden Triangle on the west side of the Bowser Basin and the Toodoggone on the east side. Same rocks, but just underexplored historically. And so to me, that's opportunity. Now this is the district. So zooming in a little closer, you can see we're right smack dab in the middle between Thesis and TDG Gold, who many of you here may know about. We're just north of AMark as well, very successful drill results from Aurora a year ago, and that's just north of Kemess. So this is a district that we think is about to really get going here. There is historical mining here. Centerra mined about 3 million ounces of gold historically, and they put out a very strong PEA about a month ago, talking about also building a leach system for satellite deposits. So we like to see that, and we like to see strong government support, which was there as well. I'd note, and you're going to hear from Thesis, so I won't comment much further, but very, very strong pre-fees numbers there. And we've seen great drill results in the area. There's been about 200 million of capital poured into the Toodoggone in the last 12 to 18 months. Most of that has been from corporate strategic investors. And again, I won't take any thunder away from Thesis, but we're very pleased to see AngloGold came into the region last week with a big investment thesis. We think that's great for the whole area. And who knows how this will play out, but this is without question an emerging district play, probably 15 to 20 million ounces here in this area. And maybe it's important to note, this is a safe jurisdiction, right? British Columbia does not face the same kind of risks that you might see in places like Africa these days. And so that would certainly inform my decision to join the company last year. And I think it's a big, potential upside as far as valuations go over time. Okay, this is a look now at our JD property. This is our flagship where we'll spend the vast majority of our capital this year making progress. And there's good scale here. So we talk a lot about the Creek to Fin corridor. You hear me say that a few times in this presentation. That's a 4-kilometer corridor between the Creek zone and the Fin zone, where we had all 19 of our drill holes last year, all 19 of which hit mineralization, by the way. So we're very pleased when you see 100% success rate. But there's other great potential to this property beyond that epithermal gold-silver corridor. There's a big copper-gold porphyry system that runs through the property to the northwest, and that really follows a trend that runs through the entire district. So it's not just the gold at Creek and the gold at Fin, that will, and silver at Fin as well, by the way. That will absolutely be a huge part of the resource estimate put out next year, but that by no means limits where this property can go and what we've got. We should note that there's been a lot of historic drilling on this property, upwards of 36,000 meters that we've digitized. So we have a pretty good understanding, and it's growing and improving internally about the system and what it all means. We've done a lot of work in terms of soil samples, rock samples, IP. So we feel really good about our drill targets for this year. This is another look at the Creek to Fin corridor. And what I'd point out is in between Creek and Fin, you've got about 3 kilometers where we've had some really good rock and soil samples, really got good high-grade sniffs. We don't know how those two systems connect yet. That's to be determined, and we'll find that out over time. But there's no shortage of drill targets here. Clearly, this deposit has legs and lots of upside. That's another look again at Creek and Fin, and another way of expressing what I just went through. This takes a look at Creek Zone and the drilling that we did last year. So we put 15 holes into it. The best holes we had, I'm going to just jump right to it, were holes number 7 and hole 21. Again, 81 meters or 4.8 grams, 78 meters at 3.7 grams. We got to look at the core here, which Chris Leslie, one of our key technical advisors, annotated. This is not just smearing because of some high-grade hits. Certainly, we had some really high-grade intercepts, a meter at 150 grams. That's really impressive stuff. But the mineralization is continuous. So that's really what you want to see, continuous near surface and high-grade. Another look here, just a 3D look at the Creek Zone and the great results. We also had great results in 2024. 122 meters and 2.1 grams from surface. Those are great gram meter intercepts. I'll go right through these core pictures. You can look at those at your leisure. And this is the Fin Zone on the east end of that corridor. A little more silver here. And again, we drilled 4 holes last year. We had 1 rig running until the very end of September. This year, we'll have 2 rigs running for the whole season. So we'll get a lot more work done. But again, all 4 holes hit mineralization and 100% success rate, which we like to see. This is the porphyry potential. So we've got this long 12-kilometer corridor that runs across the McClure Creek, outcropping Gossan. There's a great signature here, and this is sort of, you can kind of see how it flows up from Kemess through Aurora, through our property, and up towards our Theory property, where we also had some really good copper hits this year in our prospecting program. We had very nice coincidental mag chargeability and resistivity highs on the porphyry system this year. We poked a couple of holes and didn't go deep enough, but certainly there's lots of potential here, and I can tell you lots of interest from larger companies in what might actually be here. Our third project, which I would say is largely on the back burner, we'll do a little bit of IP work this year, but not too much, has an 800,000 ounce resource on it. That's called Buck. And what we'll do this year on the to the west side, we've got what's called CR that came through Tech, and we'll do some IP work there on that area. But we think there could be an interesting copper porphyry system there as well. Sure. I talked a little bit about management. Brian Locke's deeply experienced in running mining companies. Bob Willis, our former CEO, is still very active in the company and very helpful. And Ken McDonald and Chris Leslie are deeply experienced folks in BC and geologists and very talented. Last point, we just listed the 11-cent warrants that are in the money. We have almost $15 million worth of warrants that are currently in the money. And that combined with our current treasury puts us in a great position for the next 2 years. So that's all I have today. Our booth is just outside the door. Please stop by and ask all the questions you have.